Hi team, hi team.
White color.
Hi friends, welcome back to the Mind Over Miles podcast by Moving Potatoes. Today in episode 4 we have Yunus again. Welcome to the podcast. And we will be talking about race strategy, a complete technical playbook. So I am super excited today to ask you a bit more questions about what is your race strategy for this 120 kilometer race in the mountains with more than 8,000 meters of elevation gain. So to start with, I would like to ask you one very simple basic question, like, how can you run 120 kilometers with so much elevation? When is the moment to hike, run? How do you split those sections?
I think in one of the previous episodes, I already said like most of these ultra runs, unless you are elite athletes, which has lower bips, lower numbers in their bips, you walk, you hike actually, because I don't know if you've seen on the camera, but we are in the big mountains. You cannot run up the big mountains, and in this race, I will have to climb 8.5 kilometers, 8,500 meters. For a comparison, Everest base camp is around 4,500 meters, and the summit is at 8.8 k, which means to climb Everest, you get an altitude of 4.3 k. So I'll climb Everest twice, and it takes 2 months to climb Everest. I will have to climb Everest twice in 36 hours maximum. That's why you cannot run. You cannot all the way run. Most of the times, especially up hills, especially if they are steeper than 5%, you hike. You take out your poles, push with your poles to protect your legs, and you hike up. And downhills and flats, you run so that it becomes a running race rather than a walking journey.
That's, of course, like very important in these ultra runs to also like run when it's time to run, but walk when it's time to walk. What do you mean for protecting your legs? Like, can you tell us more about what is the strategy? When would you use pole? When not using poles, for example?
So in my first 100k race in Eiger, Switzerland, I said, okay, I'm so tough because I come from mountaineering background. I don't understand why people use poles. Like I don't need to carry poles. Like I've seen videos of Kilian Jornet and stuff, and he didn't have poles. So like I'm not. If he doesn't have poles, why should I have poles? And everybody else had poles. And at the beginning, I felt super strong. First 30k, like I was feeling like I would crush this. Uh, race. But then the more you climb, the more your legs, your muscles get bigger and bigger. Like you feel like they are swollen. And then in the downhills, it hit me like I started having knee problems, etc. So from the beginning of the race, you have to protect your leg muscles, but especially going up to ensure that you are gonna need them for a very long time. Like at the beginning of the race, you are fully energetic. At the end of the race, the world completely changes. So you always gotta. I mean, this is probably gonna be for me a 26, 27 hour race. The race will start after 15 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also mentioned the descent. Like, how do you think of managing the descent? Do you use poles in the descent or not? Like, what is your strategy and what is your current habit as well?
Unless it's very technical, I don't use poles because like in ultra running mostly you see people hike uphill and run downhill. But the good ones run very fast downhill. I cannot run very fast downhill. I mean, very fast, they probably reach speeds of like 4 minutes per kilometer, 330 per kilometer, etc. Like it's extremely fast. And they use the good runners. They use their legs only for balancing, and it comes both with experience and also not being afraid to fall. Because like when you see, I mean, you are in the mountains and you see, what's going on down. So like you become too cautious. But like if you try to break, if you try to slow yourself down in downhills a lot, what happens is a muscle that you don't use. I don't know if you use, to be honest, that much going up. Quadriceps are forced a lot, and ultimately they give up. Like it's like a I don't know, like a mechanical tool that's used a lot, eventually gives out in the machinery. So
And
it's
how
like
are
that.
you on downhills? Are you the afraid type or are you the super
So
confident type?
technically, I shouldn't. I should be the confident type, considering that for 10, 12 years, 12, 13 years actually, I always go to the mountains. And in mountaineering, you see even more scary downhills than trail running. But I would say I'm still the afraid type and cautious type because I don't want to fall. Like if you see good runners, they also fall, but they don't care. Like I don't want to fall because falling might mean that like the race is so long, anything can go wrong for so much time. Like falling might mean that your race ends. Like oh, even a small ankle twist might mean that your race ends. So I try to be very careful.
What are the type of terrains that will make you more alert in terms of technicality and presence of, I don't know, rocks or steepness? What will make you extra cautious?
Wetness on top of rock or mud on top of rock. Those are the most dangerous ones for me because they definitely slide. And like if it's dry, or if it's like I don't know loose rocks, I know that I can hold myself. But wetness, like hidden wetness, like hidden icing when you drive, it's like hidden wetness on top. Like I slow down a lot when it's wet. I don't think I should slow down that much. Like I see other people going very fast, but like I try to be cautious because at the end of the day, my goal is to finish the race and small fall and your race ends. The race that you've been preparing for 1 year.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And has it ever happened to you that you fell on the trail, for example?
Yeah, maybe a few times, but never big, big. I never fell very big. But like that's weird because everybody has to go through a lot of falls in trail running, which means that I'm overly cautious.
Yeah, of course. That also like it's a common feeling. Who wants to fall and have tears or breaks somewhere? It's definitely not nice. And how much do you think that in this case, for example, trail running shoes make a difference versus normal running shoes? Maybe for people that are a bit newer to the trail running world, and they may think, okay, maybe for some trails I don't need trail running shoes. What would be your advice and based on your experience, of course?
So I was one of those people that thought that you know I am a mountaineer and these people are just fancy people buying trail running shoes, road running shoes, blah blah. Like this is like I am the old school guy, etc. And with regular running shoes, I went to Cappadocia Ultra, my first ultra of 64K, and it's not a very technical route there. It's I would say for European standards, it's very runnable. But we are in those famous geographical shapes in Cappadocia, and there is like it's sandstone, it's very soft sand, etc. And I understood that regular running shoes do not hold you as well as trail running shoes. Like I kept, I couldn't get very fast because like there was no stability. The trail running shoes actually grip the earth, the ground much better than regular running shoes. So like especially in the mountains, you can't do anything with regular running shoes. Like,
But do you think it's more a matter of grip, cushioning? Because I don't know, maybe you feel like you slide more, or in terms of cushioning, you don't feel the terrain. What is the key difference
grip,
from your
grip.
experience?
The key difference is grip. It's a huge difference. It's like trying to drive with summer tires in I don't know Siberia. Like you are not gonna be able to drive, or you'll just keep hitting everywhere. So the grip is for me the biggest change. I mean, they are more durable trail running shoes. Like some of them are waterproof, etc. The water goes into your feet anyway. Like your feet will get the comfort. Never expect comfort. Like everything that can go wrong will probably go wrong in an ultra.
And what is your current trail running shoe? Do you feel like that is the one that fits your shoe best based on what you've had in the past, for example?
Yes, I know. I would normally, just like look at some of the reviews. I would look at the website called Outdoor Gear Lab, etc. and order online. But lately, for the last 1 year, we've been going to Peter Sports in Luxembourg, and they are sort of like experts, and they suggest me the shoes. And because I'm a pronator, I need stability, and I discovered ASICS Gel Trabuco. It's by far my most favorite shoes ever. Like they are very comfortable, they are good, they are sturdy. Now I have 13, and before that I had Gel Trabuco 12. They are the best trail running shoes I had. Before I used Hoka. What else I used? Yeah, before I used the Hoka all the time.
Thanks, for your experience. Definitely, it will be very helpful for some newbies to the sport to get some insights on what is your current equipment as well, right? But one last thing about the pacing and the strategy in terms of speed for your race. So, you have any pacing strategy based on different sections of the race, based on the altitude? How do you think you will approach the race?
So normally this kind of race pacing and strategy 1 or 2 days before I have a chat with my coach. I mean his expertise is marathons. So like ultra marathons we discover together. This is you also see in some elites like for me I am very like if there is a rule, if there is a scientific rule, if there is a way to train, etc. I am extremely strict on that. I don't know, like we go to the gym. I've been doing the same gym moves for 6 months because sort of like how do you
Coach.
call it? A coach gave us like specific training moves, and for 6 months, 7 months, I didn't change it. While Kiara does and goes and does whatever she wants. Like for me, I am ridiculously strict on that. But one thing with experience, you understand that. I don't know if you listen to Elise, etc. Because the research is not good enough, and you cannot be very strict about these things. All these elite runners, they try different things. Some try sodium bicarbonates, others try different kind of training, etc. So you actually develop your own science. Like whatever works for you, you should do it. I don't follow that. I am more strict, but like the good thing is I can say that whatever works for you, you should do it. But like I talk with my coach, and generally his advice is like, I mean, controlled. Start slow. You just gotta start slow, and because like the beginning, you are full of energy. You think that it will always go like that. Um, I don't know. Like, don't get injured at the beginning. Be very careful. Walk up hills slowly, because there is walking and there is sort of like power hiking, power walking. But do like it's 70% of your potential power hiking power. But also keep in mind that this is the race. This is not training anymore.
Thank you, Yunus. I think all these tips are super helpful. And now I would like to move a bit more towards the fueling and hydration strategy. So you will be running for more than 24 hours. So how do you plan to fuel yourself for 24 hours, if not more?
So experienced trail runners, they will all tell you that trail running is not a running competition. You barely run. It's an eating competition. And at the beginning of, when you do the first few times, you don't understand. Like, oh, okay, these people are bullshitting, you think. After you get some experience, you understand. Whoever can keep eating generally hits their target or finishes the race. Whoever cannot eat, essentially DNFs. Because it's not something that your body is used to. You are spending immense amount of calories. I don't know. In my case, it will be probably 15, 16,000 calories, which is what guys normally burns in a week. So the body needs fuel to operate. So you in a way have to force yourself to keep eating. And elites train, they call it GI training, also the gut system, because like your body is not used to taking that many calories in a day. Your gut reacts differently. Kiara can attest to that.
Yes, my stomach has to be trained all the time.
Yeah, so I generally prefer eating gels. I can eat gels a lot, but after a while, like in my past experience, after 14, 15 hours, you don't even want to see gels anymore, But the CPs have some cheese, depending on the local stuff, like cheese, I don't know, like crackers, chocolate, etc. I try to eat everything, and generally I'm okay with eating. Like I've never, cause I would say 60-70% of people will say that they cannot put anything down. Like even the elites of the elites sometimes throw up. They cannot eat. If you cannot eat, race is over. It's that simple. I like eating nuts and stuff. I can eat everything.
Fruit. That also
Yeah.
feels usually good.
I eat everything. I start with gels, and I eat everything. Then in very long ultras they give you pasta, soups, bouillon, etc. Like they are very very good.
And how do you manage also not running out of your own food? Because you mentioned that you will probably eat some gels or bars or whatever you will start maybe with at the beginning in your vest, but then as soon as you consume your food, how can you not run out of it, for example?
Yeah, but that's where the crew comes into the play, because every 2-3 CPs generally, so every 20 kilometer, you see your crew, meaning people that support you. They already have your stuff, and they can give you there in the sort of like allowed assistance allowed CPs. So like you essentially resupply what you have, and you have to plan everything the day before. Like you have to plan like this is what I will eat. In this CPs, give me this many gels, and this is what I will consume. A lot of people, I don't do it, even calculate the calories, how much calorie they need to take, how much carbs they need to take. Another extremely important point is hydration. Hydration is even probably more key than nutrition, because hydration is not just drinking. The amount of sweat you sweat generate probably in a race like this, if the weather is good, 15-20 liters. You need to replace all the water you lost, all the dehydration, but also the minerals, sodium, calcium, magnesium. That's hydration. Like especially them, I take salt tablets. I try to, I don't know, like in some places they give you salt directly. I try to eat it, etc. The vitamins, the loss of sorry, not the vitamins, the loss of minerals is the most critical part. Like you gotta replace both water and minerals. They also give you sometimes this specific, like the mineral water things, and like
With electrolytes
yeah,
sometimes.
electrolytes, yeah, those kind of things. So I
Yeah.
sometimes drink them. The weird thing is if you take them in your flask, in that plastic running thing, sometimes, because I think they have acids and stuff, they like
They make a lot of foam.
yeah, they make foam.
True, true. And in terms of hydration, like how much water do you think you will carry between each checkpoint?
2 liters always.
2 liters.
Sorry, 1 liter always. 1 liter.
Wow.
2 flasks, 2 times 0.5 equals 1.
Yeah, that's good. And the CPs are approximately every
10K.
10K,
Yes,
right?
every 10K, which means 1.5 hours, 2 hour max.
Cool, great. Thanks, Yunus, for sharing your hydration tips. But last but not least, I would like to cover with you one last topic about navigation in such a long race, 120 kilometers, so much elevation. How is usually the race course? How do you navigate the race course?
Navigation is part of the race, actually. I mean, 10-15 years ago, without this developed technology, it was much bigger and much more important. But now you gotta load the racetrack on your Garmin or whatever watch you are using. So the GPX, you can follow it. But even if you follow it, sometimes you may get lost, because people always follow people in front of them. I mean, in my case, I am lucky. I'm never at the front, so like there is always somebody to follow. But in these huge races, the distances between people open up as you go along. So there is also marks, like some sign of science on the route every 100 meters. So like you gotta keep following them very careful. The challenges in the nights. In the night, you are running with your headlamp, and which is another challenge of this race, running in the night. So that is you gotta still follow and check your watch also.
Yeah, definitely. And the race markers generally with the UTMB races are very good. So they really do a very big effort in making sure that people know where to go. And they even have people on the course sometimes to redirect you to the right direction or in the right trail.
You might still be surprised how easily you get lost because it's in the mountains and navigation is always a thing in the mountains.
Yes, exactly, indeed. Plus, maybe with fatigue, tiredness, you even pay less attention to markers or the Garmin watch signs. Cool. Thank you so much, Yunus. I think in the today's episode we covered enough of your race strategy. So if you are curious to know more about Yunus' journey to this super tough race, make sure to follow our podcast, leave a 5-star if you enjoyed it, and we will see each other at the next episode. Bye, friends.
Ciao.